Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be taking apart a little bit of this guard on the front of the loader that protects these hydraulic lines. I was using this Bobcat the other day to clean up a mess. I had the grapple on the front, and I noticed when I had the arms raised up, it was dripping. It was dripping pretty bad from somewhere under here. So you can see we've got some hydraulic lines. I've got this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and this bolt removed already. So I'm gonna pop this off, and it looks like it's dented. And this one is curved as well. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that or not, like it's a step to go up, or if this is actually damaged. It almost looks like it was meant to be that way. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna get this plate off and see if we can pinpoint where the leak is. You can see under that plate, these hoses are definitely wet. It's gonna be hard to tell where it's coming from though, because it's so nasty. So I'm gonna get this cleaned off a little bit, and then maybe I can see what's actually going on. Hopefully it's gonna be one of these short lines. That would be a lot easier to replace, because some of these, looks like it goes through the loader arms. And I'm sure that's going to be a lot more difficult and of course a lot more expensive. So fingers crossed it's one of these easy ones. Got my trusty soapy water. Give it a good spray. Looks like it leaked pretty good. And got a lot of dirt caked up on it, so it's really hard to tell where it's leaking from. It was one of the first times I've used the grapple on this Bobcat, and the hydraulic flow is so much more on this than on the Coyote tractor that it just kind of slams it open and slams it shut. So I've got to be really careful and kind of feather the controls to open and close the grapple. I think I'm going to have to get some kind of like a flow restrictor in line on the hydraulics on it. But it's nice having that grapple on this Bobcat, because this is like 92 horsepower, and the Coyote tractor we have is 60 horsepower. So this can pick up some really good sized root balls that I wasn't able to get with the Coyote. So hopefully we can get this leak figured out, and I can make you guys some videos of using the grapple on this Bobcat. This whole Bobcat could use a cleaning, it looks like. It's a 2008, and I don't think it has ever been cleaned more than just blowing things off with the leaf blower. So maybe I can do a video on cleaning this guy up. I think it's a little overdue. So I think I'm gonna get a big wrench and just see if any of these are loose. Maybe one of them just came loose. That would be best case scenario. Stay tuned. All right, that one was a little loose, actually. Okay, that one's tight. Let's check this main one here. Wrong way. All right, got a little bit of a turn on that. Now these bottom ones, looks like I'm gonna have to cut these zip ties, and then maybe I can get to the bottom ones. Those are some thick zip ties. All right, so these bottom ones look to be really wet, but obviously if the top one was dripping, that would make the bottom ones wet. So let's see if I can get a bite on these hoses on the bottom. See if we can get any turns on them. Okay, that one's tight as can be. That one's tight. So if it's still leaking, I may have to take this cable wrap out and disassemble these hoses a little bit further, but I think I'm gonna clean it off a little bit better and then put the grapple back on it, and then we'll take it out and see if it's still dripping. Got a belt squealing too. All right, so got my variable flow on. Let's go ahead and bring it up. All right, so with that plate off, we've got good visibility on the hydraulic hoses now. All right, so I opened, see the grapple open. And this is what I was talking about. It closes and opens really fast. So I'm probably gonna have to put a flow restrictor in line on that grapple. So I kind of have to be real careful and just kind of feather it. But I'm not seeing any leaks, not yet at least. So that's a good thing, but I wanna make sure that when this fluid is warm, that it doesn't leak. So I'm probably gonna run this around for a little bit, but I'm looking here where all the connections are. Maybe it was just that little bit loose. Maybe that's all it was. That would be awesome if this fixes it, because I really didn't feel like replacing those hoses. They do not look cheap. So let's open and close this a couple more times. I'm trying not to let it just slam. It's really hard to control it there. I can kind of, I'm using this thumb paddle, this thumb switch right here. I'm just barely pushing it. See? But it's really sensitive. See, I can do it if you're careful, but if you just push it, it slams pretty quick. But no leaks. So let's drive around for a little bit and see if we can get this to act up. Try not to hit my truck. See, our hydraulic temperature is still really low, so I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit. So far, so good. I'll show you the area that I cleaned up the other day. I didn't get a chance to film it, I just needed to get it done. But it was the big, huge pile that I made when I cleaned up the neighbor's yard after our tree fell into it. And the stumps were too big for the coyote and the grapple. It wouldn't lift it. So I put the grapple on here and it was doing really well. And we started leaking, so I called it a day. All right, so let's play a little bit, get this hydraulic temperature up. Just got to pick up and drop some logs. Nothing really productive, but let's get our variable flow turned on. Let's just pick up a couple happy with that so far. It is not leaking. So hopefully it was just a little bit loose, maybe a stick wedged in there and turned those fittings just enough to start dripping. But that, I would say, is best case scenario. But I want to show you guys this pile of trash that I've been dumping here. All of these weeds and vines and trees and saplings. This thing is massive. I know we've had some comments in some of the videos about how we shouldn't burn, and we really don't burn a whole lot. For one, I don't like babysitting the fires, and so we've just got sticks and sticks. I mean, this pile just goes on and on. I can walk around it, and it's pretty wide too, not just tall. But these are those stumps that I had to use the Bobcat to get, because the Coyote, it could pick them up about 3 inches off the ground. But I mean, these things are massive. And so the Bobcat picked it up with the grapple, no problem at all. But you can see, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, because if I light this, this thing's gonna burn for weeks. So I don't know if I should just pluck away piles at a time and burn it. Some of these I can probably buck up into some firewood. I know there's some trees down in here too, but it's just a lot right now. I thought about renting a wood chipper, but that sounds terrible. This would take forever. You can see, I mean, there's some decent sized logs in here that might make some firewood. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Leave a comment below what you think I should do with all of this. I know right now the rabbits and snakes and everything else are probably enjoying this quite a bit, but it's getting bigger and bigger, and the longer I let it sit, the more of a problem it's going to be when I do have to deal with it. But check that out though. This grapple looks mean on this Bobcat. It's really made for a skid steer. I put it on the 60 horsepower Coyote, but it's really too heavy. This grapple alone weighs almost 1,000 pounds. And so you can really tell when it's on the front end loader on the tractor. But on this Bobcat, I mean, it's like it was made for it. All right, I am running out of daylight. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this protector back over the hoses, even though it needs to be bent back in shape. That'll be a project for another day. This is some pretty tough metal, and what I have here, I don't think it's gonna work. So let's get these zip ties back on. Now they had some really heavy duty zip ties on here, which I don't have right now. So 2 smaller ones is just as good as 1 big one, right? Yeah, we'll go with that. That's gonna do it for this video today. I really appreciate you watching. Luckily, this was a really quick and easy repair. I just hope that it lasts. Otherwise, I might be doing a video on replacing some hydraulic lines. I'm probably gonna do a video on cleaning this thing up. It's pretty nasty and it could definitely use a pressure wash. So stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.